Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another vinyl finds of all kinds. But before we get to the vinyl, I'm going to show you something else that I got. That's not records at all or music per se, but it's kind of memorabilia. Okay. Now, this is something that I saw advertised and I actually liked it, being a Joan Jett fan. And here it is. This is a Funko kind of item. I'm not going to say a Funko Pop because it doesn't look like a typical Funko Pop. I'm not really big on the Funko Pops per se. There's a Joan Jett Funko Pop out, but I actually don't think that it looks enough like her for me to bother. Don't really like the design of those things with, the big head, the big eyes. Every one of them looks exactly the same. I am the owner of a few. I have a John Lennon one. I have a Paulie Walnuts from The Sopranos. I have a She-Hulk. But I don't get a lot of them because they look so similar. What's the point? But when I saw this advertised, I thought, yeah, this is cool. This really looks interesting. Mostly because it's the pose from the I Love Rock and Roll album cover, and it's got the pink jacket on there. Now I haven't taken it out of here yet, and I think I'm gonna just to look at it outside of this thing, and hopefully this will be an easy transition from in the box to out of the box. Let's find out. Okay, and it looks like it's going to be all right. Yeah, very easy. Nice, huh? Yeah, I like it. It looks enough like Joan, and that's got the iconic look with the boots and the coat and all that. So, yeah, I like this one quite a bit. Uh, I bought it for that reason, and it was very cheap. So, it didn't cost an arm and a leg. All right, let's get to the vinyl, shall we? Let me tell you the story about this. Now, this is one of those things that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I go for it. Months and months and months ago now, I wouldn't say it was a year ago, but maybe close to that. I don't know. I was watching on YouTube going around, and there was somebody's channel, a YouTuber who plays records. When you see the record spinning around, and he plays them, and I happened to just come across a live presentation one night. And I don't know if it was, I don't want to give the wrong name. Somebody might know who this is, but I'm not really sure of the name. I have an idea of who it is, but I don't want to say it in case I'm giving it the credit to the wrong person. But he was listening to an album live, and it was an Ike and Tina Turner album. And it was this album called Come Together. And I'll tell you, to help this out a little bit, I'm going to take this out of the wrapping because there's too much glare on it. Actually, this is kind of glary too. But it's called Come Together, and even though it's the song Come Together, the Beatles song, that's not why I got this at all. It had nothing to do with that. When he was playing this album, there was a song that he was spinning live, and I actually loved the song. This is the gatefold, so there's the inside of it. Tina was actually cranking out a really intense song, and it was called Too Much Woman for a Henpecked Man. And I really loved the sound of it, and I immediately said, I have to look out for this album. And the album didn't pop up in my record store for months, but here it is. Eventually, when you're waiting for something, eventually it will come. So I'm going to show you this because the record is also beautiful. I mean, I got lucky with this one because this is an Imperial, and it's just I hate when it doesn't do it justice. This is really clean. You can always tell, first of all, because there's no spindle wear on it. That's the first thing you look for, right? And it's just really clean. And yeah, I got lucky with this one. I would have taken maybe even a subpar copy of this because I'd been waiting for so long. But the fact that this showed up was really fortunate for me. Fortuitous, I believe they say. Okay, now recently I went to see Peter Noone of Herman's Hermits at the Westbury show in New York, and I loved it. I never saw Peter Noone before. The guy puts on such a great show. You can see a video. Please watch the video that I did a couple of videos back, maybe one video back. I think one video back, maybe two, where I actually also got to meet Peter Noone after the show. and he's such a cool guy, so nice and accommodating to his fans, and that really was aces with me. So I said, okay, I'm going to go out and look for some more Herman's Hermits records. I have a bunch of Herman's Hermits records already, but I was able to fill in a few holes, and this is still sealed. But I intend to open two of these albums. Even though they're sealed, I may open them, okay, so I could play them in this case. This is music from the original soundtrack of Herman's Hermits. Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter. I remember this movie is not very good. I think I saw it on Turner Classic Movies. The movie itself, nothing to speak of. Yeah, it's hard when you see an album in the original shrink. You want to leave it for collector's purposes in there, but this is a gatefold, and if I open it up one day, I will show you the inside of the gatefold. But for now, that'll have to do. Now, there's one from another movie of Herman's Hermits called Hold On. Another one, same deal, in the shrink wrap. Sealed, I should say. Now, there's a difference between in the open shrink and sealed, never opened. And of course, these two that I'm showing you are sealed, never opened. This movie, I don't recall seeing in its entirety. I mean, I might have seen it as a child. You know, I think I remember seeing this one as a kid, but I don't really remember it. So, yeah, two good albums. And the final one of Herman's Hermits, I have one more album to show you after this, but for Herman's Hermits, this is an open shrink wrap. This is Volume 3, Best of Herman's Hermits, Volume 3. And, you know, of course, when you're talking about Herman's Hermits, and there they are, you're talking about the MGM label. Beginning, of course, with the inner sleeve design, showing other artists, including Connie Francis. And that, of course, means you got the black MGM label with the lion on there. All right, and I'm going to show you one more item. And again, this item I'm going to show you, to me, is an incredible find. It's actually more in the soundtrack vein. To do it justice, I'm going to take it out of the shrink wrap. I did it again, out of the shrink wrap. It's early in the morning, folks. Give me a break. I mean, take the outer sleeve off. It's in the shrink wrap, in the open shrink wrap. Look at this. This is an old album, okay? Themes from Horror Movies by Dick Jacobs and his orchestra. This was advertised in many a monster magazine as a child. Movies like Tarantula, The Creature Walks Among Us, The Bold People, The Horror of Dracula, This Island Earth, and on, House of Frankenstein, etc. And this thing, you never find these records in this kind of condition. You just don't. So let's take it out. Decca inner sleeve. Another record, unplayed. Unplayed, pristine, no spindleware, label looking fresh. Record, sensational. And wow, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe. This is Vinyl Finds of All Kinds. Good seeing you.